We all know about the dangerous distracted drivers, but it seems the roadway risks are on the rise. But we can all do our part to put brakes on the distracted driving epidemic. Kansas City crash lawyer Doug Horn has started a driving safety organization called Drive by Example. We so need this. What you're doing is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so what led you to start this initiative?
Well, for 25 years, I've represented victims of car crashes. And about a decade ago, I noticed that more and more of my cases involved distracted driving. And I also noticed an overall decline in the driving culture. And as a crash lawyer, I do have an ability to help individual clients, but also a platform to contribute to the public safety. And so that's what led to Drive by Example.
You see how quickly it can happen. Someone's on their phone, they're playing with their radio, they're looking behind them, talking to their kids or whatever it may be, how quickly something tragic can happen.
That's right. It's, I think there's a significant thing. We're connected to these phones in a way that's really quite a phenomena. These phones are habit forming. Some people say addictive. And so what we're seeing is previously safe drivers get a phone in their hand and now they suddenly become a dangerous driver.
To themselves and to others on the road. Now tell us about why you started Drive by Example and what you hope to do with this.
Well, in 2009, I attended the first Distracted Driving Summit in Washington, D.C. And this was a gathering of the nation's top safety experts that were all looking for solutions to distracted driving. And so much of the attention was placed on teen drivers. And I began to think, no, this is really an adult problem. And if adults set better examples, then we could really make a difference in improving our driving culture. And so that's what led to the name Drive by Example.
You're right, it is not just teens. I know when I'm driving, I see folks of all ages playing on their phones, not just at the stoplight, but when they're driving through the stoplight, which is very scary. Now, you also talk about a new universe of risk, and explain what that means to our viewers.
Well, we all are familiar with the cell phone, and texting and talking is, part of the problem. But now, with the advent of this smartphone, it's not just talking and texting. It's accessing the internet, navigating, checking emails, updating social media. You see the chart here is that we all live with a normal risk while driving. But then when you enter a cell phone into it, you have a heightened risk. Well, now with the smartphone, it really is a new universe of risk because so many people have the access of a mini computer in their cars. It's
amazing the research that folks have found now that how many people are not just talking on their phones, but are sending emails, are, searching for things, restaurants they want to go to, while they're driving on the highway.
And you know what, it's a matter of us being, I use a term with kids called risk averse. We have become a nation of really risk averse drivers. In other words, we don't fully appreciate the high risks of using a cell phone behind the wheel. And so what this leads to is more multitasking activities. And you're right, we've become a country of multitasking drivers.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you were working with a Drive by Example to influence adults, but you're also working with teenagers. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Just last week, I was at the Lutheran High School of Kansas City, and we spent a good time talking about the new universe of risk, which we just discussed. But what was exciting about that is we also talk about solutions. And for instance, this group at Lutheran High School, as you see on the screen, they took a major step forward because they want to implement Drive by Example, not just to the student body, but to the administration, the faculty, the parent groups. And this is where we can, I think, make a real big impact in the community and with our driving culture.
Ultimately, put down your phone. Put down your phone, whether you're an adult, teenager, you're influencing your kid that's watching, just put it down.
And our ABC motto at Drive by Example is drive alert, buckled, and cautious.
Perfect. Thank you so much for stopping by. Great advice. We certainly appreciate it.